Welcome to Grapes and Debates, a podcast where we'll uncork some incredible wine and debate varietals of issues within the restaurant industry, one glass at a time. And now, your hosts and owners of SoNapa Grille, Adam Barringer, Chris Botting, and Joe Bates.
103, Adam Barringer, Joe Bates, and we have Steve Reynolds.
Winemaker, owner, Reynolds Family
Winery.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Reynolds Aluminum.
College tuition payer, garbage can taker outer. Yep.
So you got some incredible wines, and you are located in a prime spot in the valley. We go out to Napa every year, usually for a couple of weeks. In 2023, September 23, we were there for a month, and we stayed right off of Monticello.
Not we. You were there for a month.
Well, I was. And we drove by Reynolds Family on Silverado Trail. I would say at least, well, we were there for 30 days. I'd say probably close to 100 times.
Did you see me like waving?
Yeah,
doing something.
I wish I would have.
We should have switched in for tequila shot.
We should have.
Now that we know.
Yeah. So tell us about the tequila.
Secrets out. Well, kind of where this whole thing started for me, we'll get into the wine in a second, but my very first wine dinner I did probably 27 years ago. I told my guys that, hey, I'm kind of nervous to speak. I've never really spoken publicly before. And they said, hey, well, one of my guys says, Mr. Reynolds, drink some tequila. You speak really, really well. So sure enough, got it? Yeah. So sure enough, I go to North Carolina to a country club and I stepped up the bar and had a shot of tequila. And I thought, damn it, maybe they mean I should buy everybody a shot of tequila. So, and I was nervous. So I told the guy, hey, bring in 42 shots of tequila. And it's like taking 10 minutes. They get the mic and I'm kind of getting up and I'm getting dry throat. All of a sudden the door bursts open. In comes this tray of tequila shots. And everyone's like, what the hell is this? So I got up and said, hey, the true winemakers of California are not here today. I'm here. The guys that really do all the hard work are in the fields working right now. And I said, behind all of us, there's people that allow us to be here tonight. And, it kind of went over pretty well. It kind of went viral. So instantly overnight, I was carrying a tequila Mexican flag from there on. And it's been sort of a passion. Awesome. Yeah.
And so where are you making it? Down in Mexico?
Yeah. So finally, I started to notice how tequila was hijacking a lot of the conversation at these wine dinners I was doing. Obviously 27 years ago, tequila was not what it is today. But 16 years ago, you started to notice a change. And I started to notice, okay, the shot, people, hey, tell me what is tequila? What is this? So I decided to go down for almost 2 years to do a little walkabout to learn all things tequila. And I have 4 partners that kind of helped fund me and get me to go down there and actually helped along the way a lot. But so my brand is called Penta.
Penta?
What I learned down there was Mexico has 32 states. 5 of them can produce tequila. Okay. So out of 32 states, much like champagne being a destination beverage, it has to come from a region. Mexico has 5 states, but 97% of tequilas come from one of those 5 states, which is Jalisco. But there's also Michoacan, Guanajuato, Nayarit, and Tamaulipas. So into the rabbit hole I dove. And so I decided to lease fields in all of the 5 regions, just like the 5 noble grapes from France. Here you had this hook, right, of the noble blending arts of 5 things that we've learned from France. Right? So here we go. So leased fields, and I partnered up with 3 brothers, that the only people that would listen to me. And I'll have to share this incredible video that a filmmaker made out of Australia who actually just won a gold medal on it, all about the little startup of Penta Tequila. But so I decided, okay, just like with wine, we don't throw the leaves in anymore. We don't throw the stems. We have optical sorters. Everything's to a perfection level, right? But in Mexico, not so much, right? He was like, no problem. We fix it. If it's not good, we fix it. I don't mean any disrespect with my accent there.
No, it was pretty good, by the way.
Thank you. I'm getting pretty good at Frito-Lay commercials. Okay. But over the years, I just started to look at what was happening over these 2 years. And I realized they don't pay any attention to fermentation. You're making an agave wine. You're actually putting You take agave, comes in, it's just like a pineapple. If you were making a smoothie, would you leave the skin on the pineapple? No, right? It's bitter, it has no adds nothing.
Right.
The center of the pineapple, fiber, has no flavor. Probably wouldn't add that either, right? So agave is no different. So what we ended up doing was cutting the skin almost completely off, taking portions of the heart of the agave, which is all fiber, out, lowering the oven temperatures and sous vide, slower roasting the meat. So we got more phenolics and more flavor and depth, controlled our fermentation temperatures, purified well water. Then
Where is this?
Is anybody else doing this stuff?
Where is this?
This is 16 years ago.
Okay.
I was the first guy I flew over a yeast specialist from France. We were the first ones to use champagne yeast in our fermentations. Then when I found out, by the way, hey, talking to Anna Marie, who was my master distiller I was working with, I said, so what forest do you guys use for your wood? What do you guys like to use? She goes, well, American oak.
Okay. Well,
So my mind goes to Pennsylvania, Missouri, Minnesota. What are you guys doing here? And she goes, no, used whiskey bourbon barrels. So I'm like, you mean no one's ever used new wood in tequila? So no one's ever played with the flavors of new wood. So I ended up using 42 different forests, brand new, $1,400 barrels, custom made. So this guy right here, our first release, this is a Cristalino, which is a filtered
I'm going to grab a little glass.
Yeah, grab us a couple.
This ended up
packaging is
winning,
gorgeous.
isn't it? So 5-sided crystal bottle.
Yeah. Wow,
This ended up winning the Paris tasting as the #1 spirit that year of the release year.
Really?
So
Well, they're not vintaged, are they?
no.
Okay. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Do you like how I just hijacked a wine
Yeah.
blog?
No, it's agave in debates today.
There we go.
No, it's going to start as that.
So I'm gonna
Wow,
hold on.
fantastic.
Hold on. This is my Obi-Wan Kenobi brainwashing. You can't see that on the blog, but I've just brainwashed everybody that this is the best tequila they've ever tasted.
Sure. Well, the one thing I found about tequila, and I'm not a tequila drinker, I got very sick on tequila, like you said, 26 years ago on something that was not good. I've had a hard time drinking it since then, but I think tequila is probably the most like wine when it comes to nuances of barrel aging and flavors and
It is.
toasting. It's how
Well, now
wine
there's
can be
people.
so, yeah.
People that have actually started to put vintages on their tequila.
Okay.
They're actually going after specific fields and regions, and
There's just such a difference
That's
from
smooth.
great tequila to
Did you try this?
no. But I mean, already on the nose, it's not burning my nose with where some tequilas do.
second sip's always where you pretty crazy good in it.
Yeah, that really is.
And it's funny. It's just there's no.
Wow.
What happened with the tequila world is when tequila started to boom and blossom, agave takes usually about 7 years, sometimes as long as 10, to really properly ripen. So to get those red strawberries all red and delicious, when the boom hit, Mexico wasn't ready for it. So there was a shortage of agave. So what do? You had to start picking 5 year, 6 year, 5 year. And just like a strawberry,
It was
not
underdeveloped.
uses. Yeah, if you were making strawberry shortcake for a living and you had all green strawberries, but the next, 2 weeks you need to have these cakes out.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You're going to add red dye. You're going to throw sugar in there. You're going to make it work. And that's what Mexico's done. So all these great tequilas, that we all have on our bars, they used to be so good. And then they started to get adulterated. And then now they're kind of over adulterated. Now there's so much sugar and so much additive. So we stay pure. We actually pay extra to have the fields stay longer so we can get natural ripeness rather than
Artificial ripeness.
sugar. Anyway,
This is actually
awesome.
just
You
got
can't
a bit
tell
of
I'm-
a sweetness to it.
Yeah.
and it's
almost,
all
right.
It's fruit. That's
Yeah.
just agave
Wow.
fruit.
Yeah.
And what I loved, smell your glass now after it's empty.
And it's a perfect temperature too.
What tequila
thanks.
does.
No, that's nice. Seabot, you're missing out.
Mm.
This is good. This is
So
good.
our other partner is a huge Chris
tequila.
Seabot, as everybody knows him, is a huge tequila fan.
Yeah.
So he's going to be jealous when he sees this.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, I love it. That's fantastic.
And if you're brave enough to try one more,
Yeah, we're brave enough.
are you sure? Are we? Do we?
We're brave enough.
Did we put our big boy pants on
There's no-
today?
There's no wrong answer here.
All right.
Is it before 1 o'clock and it ends in Y?
In
It
one
doesn't
time
matter.
zone.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want you to see the
So
difference.
you've
now.
got 4 brands.
I do. We don't have to try them all.
Okay.
But I do want you to see the difference. So these are both reposados that we're having. The first one was a Cristalino. So that is a reposado as well. Repo means rested.
Okay.
And to be a reposado, it spends a little time, anywhere from 0 to to 12 months in wood.
Okay.
The first one, notice, has no color, right? So there's a classification of what we call Cristalinos, which are filtered Reposado. So they were smart enough to figure out not everyone likes brown liquor. It's a little scary, a little ominous for some people. So we put, that would normally look like this one here that we're looking at with this caramel color.
Okay.
But we filter it using charcoal. Charcoal is a very, very aggressive filtration method. And it's not just going to take out color, it's going to take out flavor and other things. So that was my first idea of using just champagne yeast, just brand new French oak from multiple French forests. And that, I just wondered what that would do. Something completely different. This, on the other hand, and filtered. This, on the other hand, is non-filtered. This is a mix of Mexican yeast, champagne yeast, and multiple different forests from around the world. Now, this is going to be more butterscotch.
I mean,
caramel.
do you get that on the nose? You get butterscotch, you get caramel.
That hits you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a Werther's original.
It is.
It is. Only better.
Yeah, this is my
Only
favorite.
better.
This is really good.
And I'm going to tell you what,
I could sip this. I mean, literally as a drink, I could sip it.
And I almost never order tequila.
No.
I love this.
and this makes probably the world's best margarita. I mean,
Wow.
it's probably the most expensive, but that's not true, but worth every penny.
Right.
That's fantastic.
Some good
So
stuff.
how long have you been doing the tequila?
So this, I'm going to say I went down there to start looking around probably 16 years ago. We've had product out for maybe 7 or 8, I'm trying to guess.
Yeah.
So,
Well, who was minding the store while you were down in Tijuana?
baby, if I told you all the things, it's been crazy. And multiple wineries started. There's just, put it this way, even during this project, I ended up partnering up, doing a movie called Agave, The Spirit of a Nation with Damien Alcazar from Narcos.
Okay.
And that's a whole nother podcast we should do. But it literally, they were doing a documentary in Napa on a bunch of winemakers that I was in years ago called Decanted.
Okay.
And they would come to Napa to film, and it was Heidi, Philippe, and Aaron Pott, Julian Fayard, a bunch of us in this thing. And they wanted to have a bar scene in the movie where all of us were sitting around after harvest, kind of toasting and stuff. And I was never there because I'd do my work during the week, and I'd fly to Mexico to work on the tequila. And finally, the film crew said, "Hey, we're going to come to Mexico with you this weekend." And so I go to pick them up, and they're like hours late, but they texted me they landed. Well, it turns out the Mexican government pulled them in a side room with all their cameras, and they're holding them, thinking they're filming Narcos stuff. So I finally come out. They kept the cameras. We have to go back the next day, and the Mexican government finally figures out I'm making tequila. They're legit guys.
Wow.
They offer us like $600,000 to make a movie about tequila, because there'd never been a movie about tequila ever made other than promotional. So we all look at each other going from thinking we're going to jail to partying because we're making a movie in Mexico. And that's my movie career. I'm
What a
sticking
great
to it.
Awesome. That's
Anyway,
great.
so pretty crazy. So that was fun. So I could go on and on about trying to hire George Lopez in his house, and we just won't even go where that went. And then ending up with a really cool guy, Damon Alcazar, and kind of a fun little project. But you know, it's
We'll
kind
have to look it up.
Yeah, interesting how these little paths in life,
Sure.
like this crazy little one toast of tequila, leads you down this
That's
really
awesome.
crazy brick road, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well, now I say we gotta. Where do we go next after that?
I
I
think
know we got a lineup of wines, but I tell you, we got Chardonnay.
the Chardonnay was put in front of me. So
Let's jump in. But I want you to notice the labels. You notice there's flowers on the label.
Yep.
That is the mustard flower.
Okay.
And what I'll do is kind of tell you a little bit about our winery. We are still a very, very small production winery.
Get out of my.
Yeah, I get it.
Easier for you.
The very first label, in fact, can you reach the tallest bottle right there?
Yep.
So the very first label we ever put out,
It's got some weight to it.
I figured, why would you ever buy Reynolds? You've never heard of us. You go label shopping, you come in here and you see all the bottles, beautiful bottles over there. So we decided, what if we glued a real flower on every bottle? What if we handmade labels and picked the actual mustard that's growing in the field directly below the grapes? So this actually on this bottle, which is our Stag's Leap District Reserve Cab, This was the original label. So we kind of got known for this handcrafting.
Okay.
And we decided to use that as our identity. So on all the rest of the bottles, we actually print the mustard flower. So we make barely 6,000 cases for the world, but I'd like to say we're
Of your entire lineup?
our entire lineup.
Wow,
So
okay.
we're super small,
Yep.
but we are, kind of little. We're in a few places, and this Chardonnay that we're having,
Wow, it is
it's
phenomenal.
isn't that? It's kind of where
Yeah.
Europe meets Cali, right? It's
Yeah.
to me, I want it to be non-malolactic, a little crisper and brighter. I want it to be food friendly, yet, I'm a Napa winemaker and pretty proud. Our T-shirts all say "Drink American."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Except the tequila.
America.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, exactly. I wish we could do more there,
Yeah.
but I think
So winemaking process, how do you get the, with no mallow, how do you get that creaminess?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Adam.
so. Well, we do batonnage style. So what I do is I put a third in stainless steel tanks, a third in concrete egg tanks, and a third in brand new French oak
Okay.
for about 2 to 2.5 months, and we stir the lees. And for those who don't know what that is, batonnage means stirring. Here's the American translation is stirring the sludge.
Stirring the
But the
sludge.
French language is just a little sexier. I don't give the French much
Yeah.
credit for anything. They left their stars off their flag, but I will tell you they have a sexy language. So they do the stirring of the lees.
Mhm.
And the lees is the dead yeast.
Right.
When they
Dead
get done
yeast,
doing
it
their
can
job,
be- exactly.
they fall to the bottom of the barrel.
Or it could be particulate matter that
Okay.
comes through the press. A little bit of pulp, a little bit of skin. It's the stuff at the bottom of some of the bottles you guys get. Sludge.
Yeah.
It's the sludge, right? And but think of it as this: if you were making a meringue or a souffle, and you whisked it, the more you whisked it, the fluffier those would get. So it can be flavor, but it can also be
It's
texture.
actually a great analogy.
Yeah.
It's fluffier.
Fluffier.
Yeah.
I love
And so with wines, sometimes that technique will add a mouthfeel, a richness to it without being oaky or buttery. And I think oftentimes that's confused when we're trying to describe the things that we like. So acid is one of the key elements that all of us winemakers play with every day. And that teeter-totter, where that is with the wine, how does it play, And with acid comes mouthfeel. So the brightness of acidity is something you want with food to pair and to hold up to things. But we all want a little richness. We all want a little fruit. To me, I feel like I need to follow a breadcrumb trail of something luring or sweet. In some ways, sweet's a relative word, right? Doesn't have to necessarily be sugar, but some kind of a component that's appealing. So.
Well balanced.
Well, you're going for balance, right?
Well,
So you've got that acidity. That's
And I think the word that I was looking for was autolysis.
we learned that word
We learned that-
recently.
Yes.
As a way
Rubbish.
to get.
Yes. But anyway.
Yeah. So while we're kind of drinking this, let's just talk a little bit about your background and how Reynolds came to be. So
Are you from Tennessee?
1999?
No, I'm
No.
So I'll give you the real quick version.
Yeah.
I'll try to go fast because I've done the most logical path to becoming a winemaker.
There is no logical path.
And you're about to find that out. for
Yeah.
sure. I am the true Webster's definition of everything the wrong way. So Dad moved us to Germany in 5th grade, graduated high school over there. My dad was a big wine collector. We made homemade wines, but I didn't appreciate what I had.
Right.
Came back to the States, played kind of high-level soccer in Germany, came back on a soccer scholarship, but I wanted to be Jacques Cousteau. Remember good old Jacques Cousteau?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, everybody wanted to wear a little toque and a Speedo and fly in a helicopter,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, came back to the States, only undergraduate degree in the United States in oceanography was University of Washington. So went to UW, studied oceanography, and my second year saw a notice on the board, commercial divers wanted in Alaska. So sure enough, 19 years old, went to Alaska and decided to be a diver for 2 years because I was going to be Jacques Cousteau. But I realized very quickly living on a boat with a bunch of dudes with one shower a week stunk and it sucked and I hated it and he was a pathetic liar. So what do? You go back and decide, well, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I got a chemistry degree. Still didn't know what I wanted to do. So I applied to dental school. And guess what?
You became a dentist?
They let me in. That's the biggest joke of the day. So yes, I was a dentist for several years. And
Where'd you go to dental school?
University of Pacific in San Francisco, which is now Dagon.
Oh, I know right where it is. Larkin went there. You
Okay.
know Jason Larkin?
I don't think I do.
Oh,
Anyway, grade school.
Okay.
yeah.
And I practiced for several years, but the one thing that I did with my dad is we made homemade wines. It was just one thing that was consistent, and I loved it. I just didn't know I could do it. So I was always chasing something that I was right underneath me the whole time. So I sold everything I had, bought a rundown chicken farm, moved into my hygienist garage, her apartment for 2 years. Everybody laughed at me, and I went back to Davis to get my 18th degree, and have just come out of this. We make a wine called Persistence. That's part of the story.
Okay.
I won't tell you about sleeping in cars and all the shit.
This is great. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, we literally, I think, we show up at Premiere and like last week, and when you're in the top 5, to me, and they're naming Duckhorn or Mondavi and all these great names, great, wonderful families, to be in that mix with what we've been through.
Sure.
I mean, so much more than you could ever imagine.
Awesome. Awesome.
That's awesome. So the property, Southern Napa, right?
Yes.
Did the property, was it for sale, or did you specifically search?
Oh, I specifically searched for anything
as opposed to Northern
That
or
was
Central.
affordable.
It was pure dollars. I had no
Okay.
clue what I was doing.
Right, listen,
and
fair.
here's the funniest part is it was the cheapest ranch that was over 10 acres, and it's 14 acres.
Yep.
And everyone laughed at me like, that's horse country. Well, as luck would have it, some of these neighborhoods around here
Some of your
buy
neighbors,
into.
might
Yes.
disagree with
Yeah,
you.
exactly. So now, of course, Camus, Tume Merlot on our back fence,
Dariouche.
Elmer's next door, Dariouche, 5 driveways
Close
up.
by Black Stout.
How far away is Silverado? 2
Literally
miles.
right over the back. So
Yeah,
as the
yeah,
crow
yeah.
flies, it's directly behind us,
Right.
right
Okay.
behind Tume and William Hill.
Right.
And anyway, it just, it's funny because, suddenly I look pretty damn smart down
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
The real truth is that property 30 years ago was $500,000, and that might as well have been $1 billion.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
Right.
I had to borrow hard money from at that time a patient of mine, Bill Strack, great guy, bless his heart, and rest in peace. And I tell you what, he believed in me, and I still have my fingers and my toes. And
Where were you practicing at that time?
so at that time, I bought a practice in Napa,
Okay.
and it's just one of those things. I tried to do both for many years, and it was really when my father passed away, who totally believed in me and all this stuff. That night, I made the total decision.
Wow.
Look, I had an associate working with me, and I called him up and said, I'd like to sell my practice, and I want to go just all in.
All in.
Wow.
Burn the boats.
Where do we go next?
burn
Yeah,
the boats.
burn the boats.
Yeah.
Where do
Yeah,
we go next?
I'm
in the
gonna die. I
lineup?
tell you what, the Pinot's really worth a try.
Love.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's from the same vineyard. This is the Coroto vineyard down in Los Carneros, which
Okay.
is our coolest environment.
Okay.
So cold for our south for us means cooler.
Mm-hmm.
North means hot, Calistoga. So we're opposite, and it's really the breezes that come off the San Pablo Bay that keep our valley cool. This is now 100% small barrel, and I know people can't see this, but I'll show it to you guys.
May I?
Oh, he's got it
Oh,
right here.
he's got one. Great.
Double fisting.
So is it the mustard on
On all of them.
on all? Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I just want to show you, this is sort of the magic to our reds that we're about to try. So I actually will take our barrels apart, and to describe it, we take the heads off.
Okay.
And so they're like garbage cans sitting on their ends for those who can't see this. And we will do whole berry right off the optical sorting line and go straight into these barrels. And why is that relative, right? Big deal.
But that's not normal, is
It's
it?
not normal at all. And the reason is I could put 20, 30, 40 of those in one tank
Right.
on a computer,
Monitor
spend
the
a
temperature.
fraction of the time, have my assistant look at it, and I could be on the golf course.
Right. There's probably an app.
There
There's
is.
probably
There
an app.
absolutely is.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, the
you
wine.
can
Oh, wine's ready.
physically hand stir these yourselves, have to move them into hot and cold rooms and monitor them, and leave them on the skins for 2 months, not 2 weeks. So why is that relevant? Because we have wooden tanks, right? We've seen them all.
Sure.
Wood vats, but the wood wears out with time, like anything, like a deck or anything, and the flavors and the wood tannins soak into the wines. By year 2 or 3, it's called a neutral oak barrel. The same is true of a tank. So by doing individual 40 or 20 or 30 barrels, you get 20 or 30 individual little ferments going. Little tiny ones.
Yeah.
They're all different. They don't go dry all at the same day at the same time. Some can be 4 or 5 days apart. So they're different. Now you mix those 40 layers together, with that additional wood layer character in here, and you get this rich, opulent style of wine. I was so into it that.
Are you vinifying the barrels separately?
Yep.
And then doing a
Then
blend
mix
at
it
the end?
together. So here, I got so into this that I actually patented and invented these silly little tanks that look like restoration hardware came to winemaking.
Okay.
So they're removable wood wall tanks that you can change the wood out. So instead of having a wooden vat, once you assemble it, you're going to keep it, right? You spend 10, 20 grand.
Sure.
And they're erected in your winery. You're going to use that thing forever, right? Well, the one part that
change the
with an hour we can change
the slats.
Damn.
Anyway.
Yeah. Are the inside of those slats toasted?
Yes. Well, you can do it. Yeah.
You can do whatever you
Or
want.
not,
right.
or, water bent or whatever your
Yeah.
pleasure is that day.
That's a lot in this glass.
So
this is a Pinot that definitely knows what it wants to be.
No, it's a Pinot. It drinks like a Pinot. It's a beautiful, well structured. It's as I tell, Joe knows this, probably my least favorite varietal. But this is elegant. This is what a Pinot should be.
Yeah, finesse.
There's just great Burgundies that we all seek them out. My dad. We've all had that moment, right? I think those of us who are super wine nerds have had that bottle that somebody owns.
Yeah.
And, it's true for me with my dad even, right? And France is capable of so many great things, just not as consistently capable. I'm just going to throw that one in there.
Right. I like that. Yeah.
One thing I will say is I keep going back to food analogies and strawberries because we can all think of those things. Our strawberries get red every year. Not every part of the world does. And they might have an Indian summer, 1 out of 4, 5, 7 years. And of course, ones are up, they're fantastic and maybe sometimes better. And their alcohols are over 14%, by the way, on those years. And then the ones that win all the high scores. Throwing my digs in right now. Everyone's going to egg my car when I get back. But anyway, it's pure science. It's pure. It is what it is, right? Yeah. We can actually measure quantifiably flavor molecules. We can actually measure that. There are these techniques called wine X-ray where I could take apart these wines, and this started years ago with a company called Enologics, where they took thousands of wines and they break them down into chemical assay and find the components that are in these wines. Then they would use algorithms to bring them together to find the overlapping 20 characters that all the top 100 wines of the years had. So they have this knowledge. So they would come to you and say, hey, you can bring your wine to me and we'll tell you how it can be better because we have this knowledge.
Sure.
Right? The Great Wizard of Oz, right?
Right.
Well, a couple of scientists broke off and started their own company for the good guys, right? The Luke Skywalker guys, and to help us grow better. Help us understand what we were doing, because it's kind of like a cake. You make this batter, you put it in the oven, and it's not the same thing that comes out, but what happened in the oven, none of us really knew. And it's the way winemaking's been before Christ. And we started to understand things a little bit better. So, one thing that we can brag about in Napa is the concentration of phenolics, iron-reduced phenolics, are higher than really anywhere else. And
so when you pick...
I like that.
Are you do you have the final say on pick date? And is it what do we have bricks or is it the phenolic? Are you popping a grape in your mouth and going, yeah, it's time?
I am. Yeah, I'm really into, I think my skill set as I'm slowly spending more time in Key West.
Sure.
And my son's a winemaker. I'm trying to admit what my skill sets are and what I don't need to be there for. And I don't need to drag a hose anymore. I loved it. Did it a million years.
What is this? What are we drinking now?
So this is Persistence.
Are we
going to do the whole lineup? Or are we just
going
to
to
jump?
as many or as little, or we can jump around. Anything that you're passionate about?
This is pretty damn good. That's why I wanted to know what it was.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is my joke. Poor everybody here sitting here listening to me. I tell the same stories over and over, but
well, that's the first time.
It's first one.
Okay. There we go. So this is my attempt at a Bordeaux blend, and it's not really a Bordeaux blend because instead of using Malbec as the fifth note,
There's Syrah.
I have Syrah there.
Nice.
And to me, I wanted this to be. And if you go to a wine lister, you come in here. Well, they're only Napa Sonoma. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
But most
Drink
of
American.
Yeah, drink American.
Yeah.
And God bless y'all.
Yeah.
And anyway, I didn't want it to be another Bordeaux want to be. I call it my Bordello blend. A lot more fun than a Bordeaux.
That's fun.
And, you know, so the Syrah to me was sort of that richness that brings you to Napa.
Mhm.
You get the art of blending here. You get the layers, the tertiary layers that are
Sure.
coming out in the wine. You know, even just a hint of maybe even, I'm not a big fan of them, even a little bit of pyrazines, right? A little bit of,
Okay.
Well, that is a deep, deep ruby red.
Yeah. For those of you that are not watching this and listening, this is my wine being consumed.
Wow, that's drinking fantastic. What's the production on this? Ish.
this and the next wine are our two largest production wines. And I want to say they're 1,100 cases.
Okay.
To put that in perspective for those, that sounds like a lot, right? People go, oh my God, 1,000 cases. Oh my God. To be defined boutique is 50,000 cases or less.
Well, I was going to ask you. So, boutique, that word kind of gets thrown around a little bit. We're a boutique winery, and so you can produce 50,000 cases and be called
1/10 of boutique. Okay. It doesn't sound big. No, super small size. Yeah, there's a whole visual there. Yeah, okay, yeah.
But yeah, so we're tiny. You know, I always use the analogy that I feel like we're grandma still dimpling the pie crust with a fork.
Yeah.
Two
Right.
pies at a time.
Yeah.
You can put that recipe into a calculator and you can throw it into a mixer that's 50 times larger.
Yep.
It doesn't come out the same. I don't know how to tell you that, right? It's just something about still doing things small and artisan. And I think that's why we're still here.
Yeah. Well, fantastic.
Well, let me ask you this. You're out there, you're kind of new to winemaking. You weren't born there. You don't have where your parents go back to the early 1900s. You're new, but it's still a community. So do you know the families that are out there? Like, I don't know, let's say Ren Harris, I mean, who's an icon out there, or the Trefethens,
We got an
John
opportunity to
and
meet
Rory
those guys,
Williams
yeah.
at Frogs Leap.
By the way, Ren Harris, there's a man, right?
What? Oh my God. Is he not the, like,
and by the way, you know he bought Ponchos.
He did.
I know.
Yeah.
But if your guys
Nice.
are you out May 9th by any chance?
We are.
Oh.
Oh,
Maybe it just happened to be our largest wine club party called TTC, Tequila, Tacos, and Cabernet.
oh,
Yeah, just throwing it
yeah.
out there.
Okay. All right.
The days that
Get ye up.
our guests are out there are pretty jammed up, though, with
Not too
an
jammed.
itinerary. No,
Not too jammed.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's some flexibility.
cruising on either. Well, we're going to be at, so I believe on the 8th.
I'm getting off topic here.
You are. So there's nowhere on the 8th. On the 9th, I believe that we start at Silverado and then we go to Foley Johnson, which I love you, Kim. I love Foley. But we might be going to a party.
We might be.
We go from
Yeah.
Silverado right to Reynolds, and
Well, let me just say, I'm not sure they have a mariachi band and a whole tequila bar with like all these tequila.
I could almost guarantee it.
I pretty much know what they're going to have.
Yeah, a Penta Retro 1958 truck that's been converted into a bar. That's the
Okay.
Penta bar.
Love that.
And barrel tasting. All my guys from
Wow.
the fields are there.
Sounds way cooler.
It's not going to be any fun.
Sounds way
Ain't gonna be
cooler
any
than what
fun
we're
at all.
doing. So we were talking as you pour here. Just sustainability is thrown around a lot, and just over the last 30 years you've been in Napa. You know, how are the growing practices changing, and what are you guys doing to kind of take care of the land?
That's a great question, actually.
Yeah.
I've seen, I won't say the rise and fall of anything. I would say the rise and then the sustainability of all of those things.
Yeah.
Everything from the term organic to, but I will tell you, behind the great wizard's cloth, right? I think there are guys like us, myself, very big steward of the land,
Mhm.
and I don't mean to have any disrespect for some of this, but there is a little bit of disrespect for it. What it was to be organic or sustainable back in the day was
Okay.
one thing. What it is today is another thing.
Right.
For example,
You think some people are abusing the
well,
term?
no, I won't say some people, I just say the actual laws and rules of it. It's a very important thing. And in the beginning, some of the things to be organic were different than they are now. Put it this way, it's a little easier for many reasons, for good and bad. There were products that weren't deemed organic that now are.
Okay.
Put it that way. Yet at the same time, there are more products to choose from that are better products. So what's happened is there's been a crossover over the years that at the beginning, we all went to get certified organic and we did it. And then you started to see things on there. You're like, you're kidding me. You can use this and it's organic. So a lot of us got a little enchanted by it.
Yeah.
But then again, then there came some alternatives, which sort of saved the day. So it's gone. What I'm trying to say is it's kind of gone in and out on things. I think there are more and more wineries that are getting green certified. The Napa Valley vendors are very, very powerful in helping with that. So I see that it's becoming going back to the good days. Can I put it that way? Is that a good way for me to put it? And I don't want to make it sound like, people are bad. It's just, if there's an easier choice, most people are going to take it.
Well, it could be if it's easier, or it could be if it's less expensive to farm the land that particular way. But I think most of the people that we interact with, they are the stewards of the land. They're the people that want to leave it better than what they found it.
100%.
And and it's really cool for us to go out and meet the families, talk to them, support them when we get back. I mean, it's a tough time for wine.
So here's,
It is.
what I'm trying, Napa is that.
Yeah.
So the Napa Valley vendors, if you're a member of that, you are one of those.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
There's always going to be those few that aren't. And please don't make what I said earlier to sound like something negative, but there were awkward choices for all of us.
Okay.
And I'm glad to see that everyone's come out on the good end. I'm glad to see companies that offered products have gone to the good side.
Sure.
And now you can do it freely.
Yeah.
But there was a confusing time for a lot of us. I dropped my certification for many years.
Okay.
Just because
Yeah.
it used to be $40 in a certificate, and then it got to be thousands of dollars in this. It just got to be, we call it political. And then it came back around. So things are much better now. And I think, I know I'm too honest on all this stuff, right?
Well, okay, switching gears then. You're being honest. What's the best place to go and eat in Napa Valley?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Wow. Okay, top 3. So you don't offend anybody.
What's your Mount Rushmore?
Do you see this right here? This does not raise very high. I'm not one of these little pinky raisers.
No.
I know I'm supposed to say something very fancy.
No, I just no.
No favorite. It can be a barbecue truck.
Yeah.
We don't. What's your
It
favorite?
could be bounty hunters.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I love GOTS.
All right.
I
I'm going to throw down.
go there multiple times.
My kids ever listen to this, they know what it is. It's Guadalajara, which is like a dive Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
Freaking love Guadalajara.
And where's that?
It's right on Old Silverado Trail. Their house carnitas burrito, fantastic. Okay, stepping away from that.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you. Probably one of all the local favorites is Rutherford Grill.
Rutherford Grill.
Which
Okay.
is still an old staple.
Solid.
Bistro Don Giovanni.
Yep.
Classic.
Had dinner there.
Let's see. Bistro Gentil, also young.
Bistro Gentil.
The tomato soup and a pie crust. Fantastic.
The last time I was in Napa, I went to O'Shaughnessy, and the gentleman that did our tour was a bartender at Bistro Gentil for 10 years.
Chris?
No, I think his name was Bob.
Bob.
And he said he knew where all the bodies were buried, and he filled us in on a few of the fun
By the
stories.
way, that is literally for all of us locals.
Right.
I mean, it's pretty much where you're going to see pretty much anybody.
Okay.
Now, downtown, Scala's just opened. That's Gio Bistro John
Okay.
Bonnie's owner just opened Scala. It's probably the hottest restaurant. Downtown Napa's kind of flourished
It's really flourished.
and done super, super well. Used to be everybody drove through downtown Napa back in the days when it flooded and everybody went to Yountville, St. Helena, and up. But there's just so many great restaurants. I mean, I could sit here and pick them off.
And how about the number of tasting rooms that are down there now?
Oh my gosh.
Let's say 7 years ago, there weren't that. Now there's over 50 tasting rooms.
Well, here's
Where?
the sad news is that like 18 have closed recently.
Oh.
So I think that era of the tasting room downtown, I mean, I think it's okay, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it's sustainable.
People want an experience.
I think they
even
do.
even in the dining, that's the one thing we're hearing.
Yep.
People, when they go out to dine, they want an experience. And for us, it's the same thing. To go into a tasting room downtown, it's like, you know what? You've done it once, you've done it twice. But to go into a winery to see the
Yeah, you
feels,
want to
maybe
smell it,
touch, yeah.
Well, the smell of that, wine room and
Okay, switching gears again because I'm ADD.
squirrel.
Yeah. What is this?
Okay, so this
Is crazy. This is
Oh,
the
TFS?
fucking shit. Mimi, the fucking shit.
next level. Yes.
This is-
So this was a property that we took over 19 years ago called Annapurna.
Yep.
This was an old Schaefer property that Schaefer's leased and went into their hillside program. And this is just, I could throw this in a bathtub and come back 2 weeks later and it was wine and it'd still win awards, right?
Wow.
This was in the Robb Report twice this year as one of their top picks.
Wow.
And it's just, and I think for a Stag's Leap District Cabernet, and obviously people can't see, but this has a real flower glued on every bottle. They're all handmade.
That's insane.
And it's just, and I would call it
How many bottles?
Stag's Leap affordable. I think we make 250 cases of this
Okay.
total for the world. And this, I think most Stag's Leap District cabs are going to be 200 plus. I think this is, 160-ish. I don't know what it is.
Right.
It's somewhere in that range, but certainly one of the lesser expensive. And I think value wise and score wise.
I got to tell you, it's one of the best wines I've had.
Thank you.
Wow.
It's
beautiful. It's
no
a-
doubt.
Yay.
Yes.
It's a weighty bottle.
You know what's great about this, and
And it
all
would look
these
great
wines
on our
we're
list.
tasting- all of these wines we're tasting, they're 2021s, which is current for most people, and actually maybe ahead of a lot of people. That's 2022.
Yeah.
So here, the most expensive wine, which you think would be the slowest selling wine, we're already halfway sold out because this just has such a following. And there's restaurants that actually will take 2 bottles to the table because you can see the flowers. They're different as they lay in the paper. They take them to the table and they present them, and now the whole level of an experience. And that's what we're talking.
Sure.
We talk about downtown Napa. We want experiences nowadays. It's beyond just something tastes great or it got a score.
Yeah.
People want to decide for themselves. I mean, it's okay to have input. I want input. I want to learn. I still watch news, even though I don't know it's news. But and we still want to have
Yeah.
some knowledge, even if it's jaded or not, whatever you want to call that. But you still want to know. But then in the end, you want to make your own decision. And I think what's great about these little small family wineries or a place like yours, people come in here, they do want your knowledge.
Right,
They want
they
you
do.
to have done this.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they want you to say, hey, this is
Mhm.
one of the ones I liked or I didn't like, or how do you like your wine? And let me help guide you, right?
Well,
And
and
now we have to bring the wines in. I mean, we're sitting here, we're doing the podcast. People are going to listen to this. They're going to say, I want TFS.
yeah.
If I'm telling you, this is one of the best wines that I've had.
Yeah.
Wow. That could be
Fantastic.
the smartest thing I've heard today, right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely
Thank
could
you.
be.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on. I'm going to go for the over the fence
Okay.
and that Penta $1 million.
No, yeah.
margarita on the
That
list. Should we
that
just
was
have a Penta
$1
million.
million.
$1 million margarita.
And let's see how many we sell at like $30 a margarita or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
$30
listen,
is close to.
I'm not a
Yeah,
tequila
it's-
guy, but that
If we
were
sell enough
fantastic.
of them, you can get there.
Should we step over and start blending? So I have this thing at our wine club thing. We have our great wine club, which I described. It's called TTC, Tequila, Tacos, and Cabernet. And it's where I like to bring my field workers together with all of our buyers. And it's just a fun get together, mariachi, the whole 9 yards. So I created a margarita that I call the Steve-arita because it has nothing to do with a margarita anymore. But I drink so many margaritas that I had to finally get rid of the sugar. So I also realized when you're hungover, the emergency packs.
Yeah,
Well,
emergency.
they make
Yeah.
one in lime.
Shut
Get
up.
where I'm going?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Put it right in the margarita.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're fixing yourself while you're breaking yourself. It's such a good thing. See?
It seems like my life story.
That is the smartest thing I've heard all day. Right there.
Exactly. So what do we have here?
All
This
right,
is
so the grand finale here.
port.
Every year we make a couple wines that we don't
Oh, I can't
sell.
dump
We
that
just
one out.
we do for the
I
we
can't
do
dump
for
that
our
one.
wine club. This is a 9-year-old barrel-aged Zinfandel with a 6-year-old Cabernet Franc that we fortified. Let me just, is that you?
It can be.
Okay.
What do you
so-
mean it can't be?
So
Yeah.
I wanted to make
I'll share.
a port style wine, a dessert wine, offer something that wasn't overly sweet, wasn't cloey, wasn't syrupy and viscous. So I wanted something that had a little acid. So when I tasted it, I wanted to have another sip.
Wow.
You know what? I'm gonna.
That
And
is,
with fresh fruit, just not be that syrupy, gross thing.
I got to tell you, that is
Little stinky blue cheese.
the fucking shit. I was thinking, there is no way.
Wow, that's
Wow.
beautiful. Beautiful on the nose.
Yes.
Yes. Drink America.
Hey, can we
This
hang
is-
out now? Can we hang out?
God dang, that is
You
good.
should have called us last night. We would have stayed at the damn. Where'd you say the Radisson?
The DoubleTree, we'd have been up here.
We would have been at the DoubleTree in a heartbeat.
It's so funny. We were sitting there like trying to decide what to do last night. We ended up just staying right there in the restaurant in the hotel, but we were so looking for this
Yeah.
right here, this place. I would have been in here in a heartbeat.
Wow.
We would have been in here in a heartbeat.
No, we would have loved to have you. So next time,
I got to tell you,
Done.
from the tequila,
what a great lineup.
Chardonnay,
Yeah.
cabs, the blend, the port. Holy shit.
Yeah, what a
Or
lineup. You should be
not
proud.
white port,
Thank
but
you.
You should be
late
proud.
port. It's just,
And when you guys come out, we
Yeah.
we have what we call our collector's series.
We'll connect for sure.
We have, we have another lineup that you guys will get to try when you're out in Napa of some even crazier, kookier things. I'm very much into labels,
okay.
and we make some pretty ridiculous
All right.
labels. Even this, we make one called Steadfast, which is one of our highest end wine. To be obnoxious, I noticed that a lot of the limos weren't bringing the celebrities to me because they're like, well, Steve, your wines are just too affordable. And I'm like, okay, I can help you with that.
Really?
So, but if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go big. So I
Right.
made a black ammunition box with a little peekaboo window in the middle. And I had these cast pewter crest labels that are like that thick, made of our family crest.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw it on the website.
Super good. It's called Steadfast.
Okay.
And, so we got some really crazy
Okay.
fun things you guys get to try. When you
That's awesome.
Well, we weren't going to come there until now that we know that the celebrities come there. All right, we'll show up. Yeah.
So, kind of shift into the future. Future of Reynolds, future of Napa. Next 5 years. What do you
His
see
son's the
happening?
winemaker. He's taking over.
So taking over. Wine industry is struggling a little bit right now, and
wine industry is very much
Yeah.
struggling.
But
So,
I would say
we've had
what
everything
do you
with
s-
locust in
yeah,
Napa.
But I would say
right of the plague.
when you have
Yeah.
when you're 1/10 of a boutique winery and you probably sell almost everything.
You can probably pivot faster.
Well, wine club that you're not really in retail, which is where I think it's effective. When you have a loyal wine club, I think you're pretty much gonna.
Wine clubs are, I think, a great asset.
Right.
And we have a great following and very blessed for that part of it. We didn't chase the moon.
Right.
We've been pretty realistic about what I think we were capable of. And I think the wine club is our future. We could be Winery Direct 100%,
Mhm.
no doubt. I believe in what we're doing here today
Yeah.
is I tell my son, and he got out of Cal Poly with all of his,
Mhm.
business class knowledge and, Dad, distributors, you have to travel and spend all this money and there's hardly any. I go, listen, son, without them, without meeting you,
Mhm.
our pond is super small.
Right.
The fish are getting inbred.
Yeah.
Eventually they're all going to go away or
That's
get
true.
fished out. And if we're not meeting new people, we're not.
Is that a Jacques Cousteau sort of
was kind of a-
innuendo? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right. Taking a full
Did you feel the
circle.
scales?
Yeah,
Did you feel the
I
scales?
did.
But so I still believe in getting out on the
Yeah.
road. And by the way, I love it. So I think that's still a strong point for me
Yeah.
over the next 5 years. I think I'm still needed for the various things.
Awesome.
One of the most important sides is like really when to pick
Mhm.
the final blends together. But I mean, it's not, put it this way, between my son and Arturo, who's been with me almost 19 years
Wow.
now.
Mhm.
I call him my assistant winemaker, but truly he's the winemaker.
Yeah.
We literally, with the machinery going, I can look at him and he's already grabbing what I would be grabbing to put into something.
Right.
We're kind of a mind meld. And I know I'm safe when I'm on the road because I know all things winery
Sure.
are safe with
Wow.
him and Cameron.
Your young Padawan.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
anyway, that I
you
feel
Star Wars.
I feel Napa is going to have a strong comeback.
Okay.
I do believe that there's been a cleansing effect. I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of virtual brands and
We talked
people
about
that
that.
that got into it. It was fun. It's great. But then I think, like anything else, I think that true people that are in it for the right reasons will
Right.
still be there.
Yeah, our 100th episode, which was only 3 episodes ago of filming this, we were with Golette.
Renee?
Clodoval.
Yes.
And the third generation taking over, talking kind of exactly what you said, where they're, because that's right there in the Stags
They're
Leap
right next to
district.
us.
Yeah. And just saying that there is sort of a cleansing, essentially, and a correction that needs
Needed
to
to
happen.
happen.
Yeah. And, but yeah, doing it for all the right reasons.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, think about this. I mean, we've been chasing this thing before Christ, right?
Yeah.
No one's ever gotten it right. I mean, a little disappointed.
I'd
that
say
there's so
you,
many
I'd
hundred
say you
points.
pretty much nailed
Oh,
it.
thank
Yeah.
you. But I think that, the beauty of this is it's just that art thing that you chase and it's fun and you grow up from the earth and it's this thing that you can talk politics, religion, Ford and Chevy and still
Yeah.
try not to get into a fight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Occasionally
yeah.
It does happen. So,
Well,
what
a
I find
fantastic
is
lineup
that
today, man.
this is where we can all connect regardless of our political affiliations.
great.
I was mayor of my city for 5 years and did happen to run for U.S. Congress, which is a whole story on a different level.
Let's start podcast number 104.
Boom.
Right now.
Yeah.
And
We'll stick with this right here.
thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
That's why I got long, but I appreciate it.
Oh,
God, we love
this
it.
is
We love it. Absolutely
perfect.
fantastic. So, and I know you got a long day, so thanks for spending a little bit of time with us.
Yeah.
on-
Thanks for
on
letting me
grapes
get
and
buzzed and
debates.
they didn't get to.
I know. This was great. I mean,